And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Forrest, and welcome back to the Pancake King Life and Marriage on the Spectrum. Or if this is your first time, welcome for the first time. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why bring back the podcast with the old Nazi salute? Well, ask Elon Musk and the millions of other people who decided they had time on their hands to debate stuff like this. I didn't want this to be the first podcast episode coming back. I actually had a plan for a completely different episode, but when things happen in our culture where autism is brought up, I like tackling it and seeing what I can do with it. After all, my opinion matters more than anyone else, am I right? Right out of the gate, I want to say that I have no intention of getting political in this episode, and I really don't care to say whether or not what Elon did was actually a Nazi salute. Regardless of what my opinion would be anyway, half of the country's gonna hate me for it anyway, so why go through that exhaustion? No. I want to tackle the fact that the subject of autism was brought up in this conversation in the first place, and see what I can do with it. What does autism have to do with the salute debate, and what should we think of the fact that autism is a part of the conversation in the first place? First, I want to delve into Elon Musk himself and whether or not he actually has autism. Elon Musk first revealed he was on the autism spectrum when he hosted Saturday Night Live in 2021, even using the term Aspergers.
I'm actually making history tonight as the first person with Aspergers to host SNL. Or at least the first to admit it.
Musk was later asked if there was a potential link between the success of his company, Tesla, and Asperger's, to which he goes on to say, "I found it rewarding to spend all night programming computers just by myself, but I think that is not normal." He also became obsessed with physics and trying to figure out the meaning of life. And not going to lie, I tend to get obsessed with the latter too. Elon and I can probably agree on that at least. Everything I've seen of Elon, I can't deny that there are a few quirks in there that can point to autism. He obviously has some intelligence about him, obsession with the things he enjoys, but where does he seem to falter the most? Seems to be social interaction. I'll be honest with you, it's really hard to listen to him.
But I guess for me, I was just very bookish and sort of intuitively understand what was meant by something.
He's not very good at threading sentences together. He stutters constantly, and sometimes his thoughts divert in random directions. Now, I know your buttholes are already clenched watching this, so before you hurt yourself more, no, I am not saying that all autistic people are bad at speeches or mere social interaction. It is, however, common for some autistic people to really struggle with our words. Sometimes our thoughts are more coherent and meticulously put together than how they sound when they come out of our mouth. Sometimes when I say thoughts out loud to myself, it's more coherent than when I voice them to another person. My wife and I like to say that her brain sometimes works faster than her mouth. So while what she's thinking is coherent and makes sense, the words she says tend to trip over each other and make a jumbled pile at times. I've said it before in a previous podcast episode, and I will say it again here for the sake of this episode. We on the autism spectrum may have our quirks, and we may make mistakes or say things without realizing the effect that we might have on other people, but we are not incapable of making bad choices. We still have a lot of control over our actions. We're capable of thinking before speaking or acting. We can even do bad things intentionally. With that in mind, the autism argument I've been hearing a lot of people make in defense of Elon's awkward hand gesture is, to me, invalid, and I think people are being irresponsible by using that argument. I would even go so far as to say that it reveals a lack of understanding on the part of these people. Do these people believe that spectrumites, what I call autistic people on this channel, don't go crazy, just randomly fling their hands up in very purposeful looking gestures because autism? We have our habits. I've played with my ear all my life. A lot of people on the spectrum have nervous tics or physical habits that they do subconsciously. It's common. But I'll be honest with you, Whether or not this was purposely a Nazi salute, everyone can agree that there was nothing subconscious about that gesture. He absolutely did it on purpose, and autistic people are capable of that. They're not absolved from being capable of poor decisions. I've made more poor decisions in my life than I'd like to count, and if you're autistic watching this, you have too.
How dare you!
Elon Musk may be on the spectrum, and that in and of itself is interesting. I think it's great that he's an example of someone out there on the spectrum who's successful and whose ideas have created some really awesome things. However, he is not faultless thanks to his autism, and at the very least, it would be nice to see him at least take some accountability and admit when he's made mistakes, which I haven't really seen. I don't want to see autism being wielded as an excuse for bad actions. People on the spectrum deserve better than that. I hope you liked this, even if the topic was a heated one, but to be honest with you, you're probably going to see me do more of this stuff in the future. I want to tackle harder topics and have conversations with people about them. If you have thoughts of your own, please comment below, and if you want to see more, please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.